Hi guys, my name is Robin Daniel Spicer and I run Stellenbosch Travel, a travel agency based in the centre of Stellenbosch. As you may well have heard, Stellenbosch Travel have been approached by Lobster Inc. to develop an online travel booking tool. We've worked together with our GDS system, Amadeus, to come up with a great tool for you guys, not only making travel booking easier for you guys, but travel tracking easy for the business and HR. So everything is web-based. You have your unique URL, lobsterinc.amadeuscorporatetravel.com. And once you click on that link, you'll be redirected to your login page. So you've all received your unique logins. These are actually default logins. So once you put your password in and log in for the first time, you will be prompted to change your password. I implore you to please change your password to quite a secure setting, as you don't want anyone traveling on your account and trip approvers asking why you're traveling to Portugal and Bali during the summer. Just keep everything as safe as possible. So once you have reset your password and you are logged in, you'll be redirected to your dashboard. You can see the dashboard has been completely customized for Lobster Inc. You'll see the beautiful Lobster Inc. logo and Stellenbosch Travel on the side. The taskbar will be Manage Trip Approval, New Booking, View Past Bookings, and Profiles. You won't be able to see Manage Trip Approval unless you are a trip approver. So if that doesn't come up, don't worry about it. It's just because it's not meant to be there. The ones that you are looking for are New Booking, View Past Bookings, and My Profile. So first things first, I'm not David Lobster. Don't worry about it. I'm just hijacking his login for today. Once you've logged in, just click on My Profile and you will be directed to your profile page. So this is not like Facebook where you have to load profile pictures and that sort of thing. It's just where I want you to update your details. So just make sure that everything that HR has given us is relevant still and is correct. Obviously, we're going on these details when making the bookings. So just make sure the business phone numbers, etc., those are quite important in case of delays. Everything is correct and up to date. The next thing I want you to look at is your passenger information, your APIS details. So this is where you'll need your passport to complete this information. This has to match your passport 100%. In terms of airlines, they rely on us to keep updated in terms of their passengers, and in terms of manifests and that sort of thing, they need to be able to prove the booking is who is on the certain flight. So please make sure that everything matches your passport 100%. If it doesn't, I'm not going to be the dark cloud of doom, but I am going to tell you that it could land up in deportation, or you could be kicked off the flight. So just make sure that everything matches 100%. You'll also be able to give yourself a meal. Just make sure that if you're happy with chicken or beef, you can leave that one blank. But if you do suffer from diabetes, you can choose your diabetic meal there. Seat selection, I'm a window kind of gal. This doesn't enforce that you'll get a window, and it doesn't confirm that you'll get a window, but what it does do is when the airlines are assigning seats, they will take your preferences into account. In terms of your frequent flyer airline programs, everyone is listed in this drop-down menu. There are quite a few, so just make sure to put the most relevant ones, British Airways, Emirates, Skywards, SAA, if we still use those, just to make sure that we have the most relevant ones that you do use the most. Redress number, that is only if you share the same name as someone on the no-fly list. It is a new thing, so if you do share a name with someone on that list, you will be given a redress number. This is just to prove that you are able to fly and you're not in fact that person on the no-fly list. Car vendor preferences, you can leave that out because that's not relevant right now. And then emergency contact details. As a travel management company, we do need to know who to contact in case of emergencies, delays, volcano eruptions, which cause delays in trips, snowfalls, which can cause delays in trips, that sort of thing. We just need to know who to contact. Okay, so once all of that information is up to date and completely correct, we're going to sync your profile. So on our GDS system, everybody's profile will be loaded and stored in our cloud. Every time you make a booking, all of this information will automatically be pulled through into the booking. So this information needs to be kept up to date quite quite significantly. So if you do have a change in surname, perhaps you've got married and you've changed your surname, just be sure that when you do log in again, just sync your profile every time you change something, so it does sync with our systems and keep us up to date as well. If you have problems with this, you can pop me an email and I can assist. Manage credit card details. This shouldn't be a problem for you guys. You can ignore this as we have all the corporate credit cards loaded in the system already, so you shouldn't be prompted for a credit card at all during the process. Once again, if you do, just pop me a mail. Okay, now we can start the fun process of doing a new booking. So you click on new booking and you'll be redirected to the booking tool. So you can see we can do flights, cars and hotels. The most important is obviously flights. Cars, I know Uber is big and the public transport networks are quite fantastic, so cars not as much, but flights and hotels are quite prominent in bookings. So you can book all three. If you scroll down, you'll see that we can do round trips, one-ways, and multi-destination. So the round trip is Cape Town, Amsterdam, Cape Town. One-way is Cape Town, Amsterdam, and a multi-destination is Cape Town, Amsterdam, Geneva, Cape Town. Just to give you an idea of the different trips that you can search. We have given you the facility to book more passengers other than yourself. So you can see here maximum of 9 passengers can be booked. Anything over 9 passengers, please give us a shout, as it does change the rules a little bit in terms of airlines. Group rates apply, and we do need to liaise directly with the airline. So just give us a shout if that happens. Okay, so first things first, name of the trip. So this will be your reason for traveling, your project code, which you can then free text put inside the box. So I've been given this example for filming of HMK, but dyslexic, HMK 01043 P10. Okay, select your trip reason, so you can see if it's business, meetings, conferencing, filming, training. I'm going to put filming as my reason. And then your departure city. So for the expert traveler, you can put your city codes, and for the novice traveler, you can type out the name of the city that you'd like to travel to. Departure dates, very self-explanatory. When you want to leave, and return date, equally self-explanatory, when you want to come back. Okay, you can filter between any time, morning, afternoon, and evening. My recommendation is to keep it on any time. If you do filter, you could possibly cut out direct flights, cheaper flights, better routings, that sort of thing. So we can filter on the next page. My advice is just to keep it at any time for now. As I said earlier, you can book more than one traveler, which is yourself. You can add more passengers. So we're going to book for 2 travelers today. No children and infants will be flying today for Lobster. And click on search round trips. So what the system is now doing is it's going directly into our inventory within our Amadeus system and just searching through the inventory that we have with all of our airlines. It will then pull through your summary grid, which will give you the options for the non-stop, 1 stop, 2 stops, and you can see a brief synopsis of what is going on here, and you can see which is the best options. So just to draw to your attention, it does look quite costly, coming in at 27,935 Rand, but just bear in mind that that is for 2 passengers, so it's 2 adults. If it was 1 adult, it would be half of that. So don't get a fright when you're looking at that. If you look to the left, you can see that you can sort the results by cheapest, shortest, earliest, latest, etc. As I was speaking about previously, we can filter them now because we have all of the inventory that we can choose from. So I'm going to give you an idea of the shortest flight first. You can just scroll down and click apply, and then it will just rearrange everything in terms of the shortest options. Okay, so you'll see that it's brought up KLM, which we know is quite a favorite. And you can see there's a big green banner that says in policy. This means that the preloaded information that we have received from the business means that they are okay with this specific trip. It does fall within the travel policy, and they will be pretty happy with it. You can click on further details and you can see that it's 2 travelers, and that's the amount for the 2 travelers as discussed. It's not 37 per person. You can check on the base fare and the total taxes and that sort of thing. And all the fares and fees are included. if you scroll down, you can then go on and see your baggage. So you'll see these are two-piece concept. Just to bear in mind when you are booking online, just to know that some airlines are different in terms of their baggage policies. So what you don't want to do is book a two-piece baggage concept and then mix it with a kilogram baggage concept. It creates a little bit of confusion in terms of baggage, and if you are caught out, you may be asked and charged for your additional baggages. So just have a look here and just make sure everything's in order. This will give you a breakdown of the times that you'll be traveling and the total time traveled, your cabin, class, etc., etc., and it's in policy. If you scroll down, an example of out of policy would be this specific flight. It is the same flight, but if you click on details, you'll see big red banner, it is not within policy, and it is because it is a business class booking. So these are the things, this information will be pulled through when the trip approver has to approve these things. So I think we're pretty happy with this specific option, and I think I'm going to quickly add it to our cart. It's in policy, and it should be fine. So the system has now added it into the cart. And you can see that it's not the lowest fare offered, but it is within policy, so that shouldn't be a problem. This will be populated in the email that goes to your trip approver though. Okay, so now we can decide whether we want to add a car or a hotel. I'm going to add a hotel because we can hire a bike and cycle around Amsterdam. So this information will all be populated as per your search for the airline, so there's no need to really change too much of it. The number of rooms can be changed though if we're looking for 2 rooms. Just make sure that you put your nationality in. Sometimes it does affect the rates. So we're South African. So the number of rooms is 2 rooms. The first room is 1 adult, and the second room will be 1 adult. And then we can search. So again, your travel policies will be loaded. So just when you are looking, it'll tell you whether the accommodation is within policy or out of policy. You can also search through a map. So if you see map view and you know where you should be in Amsterdam, you can go and check which is going to be better for you. You can click on the little bubble and it will tell you how much it is per night. So we'll like that one. And you can click on it and read some more information about it. Number of beds 2, twin, it's in policy, no cancellation policy, twin guest room, comp Wi-Fi, etc. So we can then go and add that to the cart if we're happy with it. So this will automatically then be added to the cart underneath your flight booking, and it will take you back to your flight booking, your cart. So you'll see here are our flights that we've discussed, 37,000 Rand, and our accommodation. You can see it's pulled through that the lowest flight was 27,935 Rand. Your trip approver may ask you why you didn't take that flight. Just be ready to say it was Ethiopian and the travel time was far too long. It just didn't work. The system does allow for them to choose and ask these sorts of questions. So once you're happy with that, you can add your details. So the first passenger is always going to be you if you're traveling. So just make sure that everything's correct. As I was talking about in the profile page, everything will be pre-populated as per what you have loaded. Loyalty programs and meals, etc. And then passenger 2, this is where you can book your guest that's traveling. So this will be if I am traveling with him, and then I can add my details in. Just know that they don't, airlines don't work with hyphens. If you do have a double barrel surname or space between your names, they don't really work with spaces and hyphens. Email address. And just confirming. etc. Okay, so once all of that is loaded and you're happy with it, word of advice is just to go back and just make sure that everything matches as per passport. Again, if it doesn't match the passport, the airline has the right of refusal, especially when it comes to maiden names, married names. Sometimes passports haven't been updated and you're still traveling in your maiden name. A lot of the times, if it's an international travel with an international passport, they may have a different way of their names being spelt. Just make sure it matches 100% because it could, as I've mentioned before, result in denied boarding. Seat assignment. So this is if the airline does allow you to select your seat. It does depend on airlines. Some airlines do, a lot of airlines don't. I know, for instance, Delta doesn't allow you to. They'd like you to pay for your seat. KLM is another one. As you can see, the available is lime green. There is no lime green available on the flight out, but perhaps the flight back. There are a lot of lime greens, so you can see David would probably like an aisle, and I will take a window seat, so I can choose our seats and I can save it. There are chargeable seats, so it will ask you for that, but it will be chargeable, so just be careful on what you book. You can then save that and it will pull through to your booking, as you can see over here. So price details, once again, will break down your airlines and your hotels. You're then able to select the cost center, so we're going to go for implementation. And then, as I discussed before, the corporate credit cards have already been preloaded, so you don't need to add any credit card details. It'll all be there. You then agree to the rate conditions and Stellenbosch Travel's terms of service, and then you can confirm. It will tell you remember to book your transfers, but I know a lot of the travel is quite easy around the cities that you'll be traveling to. So don't worry too much. It's not going to affect the booking. And as soon as you confirm, you will be redirected to another page and an email will immediately be sent to your approver. So what will then happen is your approver will receive an email with all of these details on it, listing the costs, the price, the base fares, the taxes, if it was within policy, if it wasn't within policy, and they will get an idea of what the cheapest flight was. If the flight is approved, a message will be popped onto to say that your flight has been approved. We will get a message and will issue the ticket immediately, and you will receive your travel details. So it is as easy as that. As I said before at the start, if you've used the travel booking tool before, it's very straightforward. However, I am here for you as your travel guru. Should you require any assistance, I can handhold. You can give me a call, or you can chat to me on Skype, or on our website we have a chat box. I am always here to help. Thank you so much for your time, all 17 minutes of it, and I wish you pleasant travels. Thank you, Lobsters.